Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to reading for March 2023. We're going to just jump right in here, Scorpio, and we are going to see what is going on for you. We're doing a past, present, future spread. In your past position here, you have this my dear friend card. So some of you, it's like there could be someone has regrets, I feel, from a past situation. I kind of feel like you're over it, is what I would say here, Scorpio. The other thing that I'm getting is, this is kind of weird, but if this isn't you, I feel like it could be a person that you are attracting. You know, it's like I feel like you're attracting a person who had a person that they thought was their best friend, and they lost that person, or that person left them or proved them wrong in some way. Normally I wouldn't like this, right? Because it would say maybe this person hasn't healed or whatever. But what I would say is I feel like this person has healed. And so it's like you're attracting a healed person into your life. Some of you definitely could be you. You have this forgive card. It's like encouraging you to forgive the past, this past person. Maybe again, you feel like you lost your past person, or you feel like you lost your best friend in life, right? Or maybe they just were a friend at the time. Could be a friend as well. So I definitely have that story pop into my head. Everyone's had the tower. Again, this is just going to keep happening. So don't be too shocked by the tower. But again, I do feel that for some of you. For others, I do feel this is encouraging you to socialize, because your first card is the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is my card of socializing. It is my card of getting out of the house, doing things in public. So again, right here, if you want love, I would be getting out of the house. I would be exploring, doing new things. Some of you could also be moving here as well. So, you know, this could just be a move with the Eight of Wands and the Tower. The other thing that I will tell you is that this right here, the Tower and the Judgment card, is the most powerful combination in the tarot. It represents some sort of major revelation, or having like a major wake-up call. So, and Cancer had the same thing. So definitely could be like some wake-up call type energy going on at this time. You have the Five of Cups. Five of Cups, I kind of feel like someone has regrets, and I don't think it's you. I think that it's either a past person, or again, it could be this weird situation where a new person that you're attracting, their person has regrets, and doesn't matter. No, it's not even worth mentioning. So, you know, there you go. Next, you show up. You show up twice here. You show up as the Death card to the Tower. You know, kind of interesting, really, here, Scorpio. It's like both of those cards are your card. They both represent death in some way, right? You know, death obviously represents death, but the Tower can also represent death because it is a transformation. It is, the Tower, something collapses so that something new can be rebuilt. But I'm wondering if you're like stepping into your true energy, or you're like embracing your energy or something. Let's see. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Knight of Pentacles. I would be careful of like slow people. That sounded so wrong, but again, if you're attracting love, I feel like you know what you want, and I just have this I just have something so weird popping into my head here, Scorpio. It's like where you could be attracting a person. I hate to say this, but I almost feel like this person's too nice. It's almost like they're afraid to touch you. I don't know how else to say it, right? I just have to say it. So I feel like they're just too nice. It's coming off as creepy in my head. So I don't know. I feel like this reading is saying don't settle, you know? It's like if you're attracting a person like that, I'm not saying they're a bad person or anything, but what I am trying to spit out here is that I feel like there's something that you want that is coming in for you. You don't have to settle for someone who, you know, can barely hold your hand without shaking or something. I don't know. It's popping into my head. With the Five of Cups, you have the Death card, some sort of transformation or change. Obviously, I'm not going to beat a dead horse here. There's some sort of change coming in for you. With the Death card, you have the Two of Wands. Well, this kind of changes things, because the Two of Wands is about leaving a comfort zone. And sometimes I think with the Tower, it's like if we don't make a change, the Tower can say like, hey, you know, you have an opportunity to leave a comfort zone. If you don't, then we'll do it for you. And the we being the universe. So sometimes, and you know, the Tower is showing up in your future position. So the Tower hasn't happened yet. As I always say to people, you're not watching tarot for me to scare the crap out of you. You're watching tarot so that you can avoid things like that, or so that you can work with the energy. So if there's a change that you want to make, like in your business, or maybe kind of like what I'm getting here is for some of you, it's like maybe your job, maybe you see that your job is kind of going the wrong direction. I kind of feel like this is saying, don't wait, don't wait to find out, right? It's saying get ready to make the change now. So it's like maybe you see something happening at work where maybe you feel like the business is going to go under. Go find something new now. Don't wait is what this is saying. Same thing in love as well. It's like sometimes I think we're all guilty of this, right? Staying in a relationship that we know isn't right for just too long. So for a small percentage of you, again, maybe you're with a person, maybe you know it's not right. I feel like it would be much better to end it now than it would to be like dragging this out, right? For the next 6 months or something like that. Next, in your present position, you have this Rose's Kiss card. So there is definitely love coming in for you. I can't move past it, Scorpio. I feel like you need, like, there's kind of like a choice here between someone who's not assertive and someone who's much more assertive. And again, it doesn't matter what gender you're attracted to here. But I feel like maybe you are looking for someone who's, kind of just like more on the assertive kind of way or in that direction. I also feel like you could be, it's kind of like, it's going to sound weird, but it's like there could be one person who just kind of like goes along to get along, but they're more of like a follower. And I also feel like there's like someone who's just more of an individual. You have this individuality card coming up here. And the thing is like, I feel like that individual person maybe feels a little bit more risky because they don't follow the crowd, because they don't conform to society. But at the same time, I think it's the right person. Again, I'm not here to tell you what to do. Tarot should not tell you what to do, as I always say. But, just intuitively, that's kind of what I'm getting here, Scorpio. So there you go. You have the Two of Cups, Three of Pentacles, and the Page of Swords. Two of Cups is obviously a very solid connection, soulmate coming in for you. So I do feel that there could be a soulmate here. And again, I feel like it's a much more kind of assertive person. Let's just put it that way. I don't know why it just keeps popping into my head. For others, if this is not love, I feel that there is something that you will love, which we see right here, right? You go Two of Cups to the Queen of Cups. I always say that the Queen of Cups to me really represents following your heart. She really only cares about what she wants to do. She doesn't care what anyone else wants her to do. To the Nine of Pentacles, being an individual. Nine of Pentacles is, being truly independent and being able to take care of yourself. So your heart might be telling you to go start a business, but maybe your family is saying, don't do this. Or maybe your heart is telling you to quit a job. Maybe your family is saying, are you crazy? But again, I feel like you need to follow your heart and move towards what your heart is telling you to do. You have the Three of Pentacles. There are people who want to help you. Again, teamwork makes the dream work right now. So, as I always say, I know it's boring, but, I would be doing whatever you can to work with other people. This could also, like, you don't even have to hire a person, or you don't have to pay for this or anything. This could just be having a person or like a friend in your life. Two of Cups is a soulmate, but it doesn't have to be love. It could be like a friend, a family member, a mentor, something like that, who you bounce ideas off of. Again, I think we all need this right now. And also, just looking at the astrology, it will be rewarded if you do this. So people always leave me these comments about how stunning and brave they are, about how they've been working on the same project for 20 years and they're going to get it done all on their own. I'm like, okay, good for you, buddy. Like, go have fun, right? Doing that, being slow, right? There's an old saying, money loves speed. And again, what I would say here is I wouldn't be doing things on my own, especially if you've been working on a project for like 20 years. I would get help. I would get someone to help you. And like I said, there is no honor in doing things on your own. I don't know where this has come from, right? Trust me, I see all the comments of people who are like, no, I'm going to do it on my own. I'm like, okay. Yeah, good luck with that. Have fun. You have the Page of Swords here. Page of Swords is like a detective. And going up to that Judgment card, I would say going this way, that being a detective at this time, plus you have the Death card twice here, which is your energy. You are Scorpio, like the detective. I would be looking into things, anything that you're interested in, anything that you're working on. Like, get down and dirty, get into the details of the things that you're working on, because, there's a million reasons is what I will say. You could discover something that makes your project more successful. You could discover a new way of doing your project or your business or your relationship. I would just be looking into things. With the Two of Cups, Ace of Cups, yes, there's clearly love coming in for you, is what I would say. So far, the only thing that stands out to me really is an earth sign. So it could be an earth sign, but take it how it resonates. It could just be a person who has earth in their chart. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Six of Pentacles. I saw this card a couple times while I was shuffling, so kind of interesting. Six of Pentacles is cause and effect. Six of Pentacles is you put energy into something and like, what do you get out? I always say with the Six of Pentacles as well, it's an amazing card for right now. We have Pluto going into Aquarius. Again, if you want to be successful over the next 20 years, one of the ways that you can become very successful is to plant a lot of seeds, meaning like in work, in business, in love, whatever you're trying to improve. Plant seeds, meaning try new things in the whatever area of your life you want, and then see what grows. Pay attention. Most people just do stuff and they don't like pay attention to what works or what, whatever. It's like, trust me, it's like I've been a business consultant for a very long time in my other business life, and I cannot tell you how I've worked with like big companies, big people, and they don't pay attention to like what marketing works. They don't even keep track of it. And I'm like, what are you doing? You have no clue what is working. And again, Six of Pentacles is like, do you know what is working in your life? Do you not know what is working in life? Like, what is impacting the bottom line? And again, this could be in love. It's like, are you just dating the same old type of bozo and ignoring the right type of person? Maybe you're not. I'm just giving you some examples here, but I would be paying attention to what works, because then you will obviously be successful. With the Page of Swords, you have the Knight of Swords. No rushing at this time. Again, I do get this like, this energy of, I would just be careful if someone is clearly not right. It's like, I feel like there's no need for you to settle. I feel like I need to say that. It might only be for one of you, but no settling. I would also say, I feel like it would be a good time to get a second opinion, really, for the rest of like until 2026, I would say, even beyond that. I just really wouldn't stop, but I think it's most important between now and 2026. If someone comes to you and says like, oh, to fix your car, it's going to be $1 million. I'd be like, no, like, I'd go get a second opinion. Same thing, like if you're getting work done on your house or anywhere, right? I would get a second opinion if it doesn't seem right, because it probably isn't with the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords can represent kind of like being pushed into something that just isn't right. Next, you have this gibbous waxing fire moon, and it says buds on it in individuality. I really feel like you're becoming more of an individual with the Nine of Pentacles, but I also feel you could be attracting a person who is kind of like they march to the beat of their own drum. I'm almost 1,000,000% sure that I've been saying this to you. I really get this feeling of a very, kind of like fiery. I don't think they have to be a fire sign, by the way. I just think they could be like a very bold kind of person. And I kind of feel like they do their own thing, and it's interesting that I also feel that it could be like a little bit of a risk, or feels like a risk to you, because it's like, it's like, if you date a person like this, they're going to do their own thing. They're it's just who they are, so it's like, maybe you feel like, maybe they kind of trigger some of your control. I'm not calling you controlling. I'm just saying we all do this, right? We all do things to try, like, I always tell people, it's like, what's the first thing you do when you get into a relationship? We all do things, and our first thought is like to do things so that that person doesn't leave us, right? We really need to change our thinking on relationships, but I don't have any good examples, but I'm sure we all do it, right? We all do things where we start kind of making decisions or saying things or with our actions so that that person won't leave us. So we're already starting off on the wrong foot. And, but I feel like this person, I feel like it could trigger some of those things. Like maybe you're too available, for example, like that's a big one, right? And maybe it's because you're fearing that they're going to run away. And, I feel like, I don't think this person is like that. Number one, I feel like they will prove to you, trust the evidence, Six of Pentacles, that they're there, they want to put the work in and everything. But again, there might just be some triggers that you have to pay attention to. And I feel like this is kind of like saying, can you work through those things and rebuild it in your own life so that you don't get triggered by those things anymore? Or, are you going to get triggered, right? And like I said, I'm not calling you out here. I'm just saying we all do this. We're all guilty of it. I'm far from perfect, trust me. So I get it. But I would also, try to kind of like work with the energy with the Tower showing up here. Again, everybody's already had the Tower. This is going to keep happening. As I always say, wouldn't surprise me if there were like global Tower moments that were happening in the world at this time. And we've seen many. So already, right? I predicted this months and months ago, and we've seen it already happening like crazy, tons of crazy stuff happening. It's like that missing girl, Madeleine McCann, right? She was like, she might be alive, apparently. And it's like, I see these things happen. I'm like, holy crap. Like, this is like craziest time to be alive. And again, you ain't seen nothing yet. There's going to be more crazy stuff happening, way more. So, buckle up. You have this Queen of Cups card. I kind of feel like this is you. Again, I read you as the Queen of Cups. I know everyone and their mother reads it as Cancer, but the way I was taught, this is you. So, but it's fine if you want it to be Cancer. I don't care. And what I would say here is I kind of feel like this is your energy. I really feel that it's really super important that you follow your heart at this time. Pluto and Aquarius, again, I think we all need to pay attention to this, but it's coming up for you. So it's clearly very important that you follow your heart, what your heart tells you to do. You have the Page of Cups, new love coming in. Some of you could be a little bit surprised by new love, but I also feel this could be a person coming in for you, like I said, but I also feel that this could be your heart. Normally, the Page of Cups, he's holding that cup, and there's a fish in the cup. The fish kind of represents like a goal, a wish, a dream, something that he needs to grab onto. It's kind of like a slippery opportunity, like an opportunity that could get away from him if he doesn't start putting the work in. So I kind of feel that here where if you're like wanting to build a business or wanting to work on a project, I would get going because, you don't want it to slip away. With the Tower, you have the Page of Swords. I would definitely be careful of a past person. Page of Swords twice here, and then Page of Swords with the Knight of Swords, Page of Swords with the Tower. I'm kind of like connecting those two things. I wouldn't rush into anything. It's like this to me is kind of saying, just this here and this right here, Page of Swords, Knight of Swords, Page of Swords, Tower. It's kind of like saying to me that if you rush into something, there could be a Tower moment. So just take your time in anything new that you start. Doesn't even have to be a relationship. Could be a business idea or whatever. I feel like it's kind of like saying, make sure you're crossing all the T's, dotting all the I's. If you're filling anything out, again, be a detective, right? If you're getting a contract this month, double check it. Have someone else double check it as well. And, make sure you're really kind of looking things over. If you're submitting a project or something like that, have someone else double check it. I always tell people, it's like, you would be surprised. I mean, I fell on my head when I was 10 years old, but like I hired someone a couple of weeks ago to do a project. They submitted the project and it wasn't even close, but it wasn't even their fault. It was my fault because I completely missed like an entire section of like what I wanted in this project and totally didn't pay attention. Again, normally my brother, like he's basically my manager. He normally checks these things and he didn't have time to check it. So totally my fault. But again, it's like I miss things all the time in like big things. So I feel like this is saying maybe you need to get a second pair of eyes. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Eight of Cups, walking away from things that no longer serve you, really choosing yourself, choosing your own fulfillment. With the Page of Cups, you have the Six of Swords, moving on to calmer shores. You have 2 6s here. If you've been watching me for a while, you know I love 2 6s. To me, it says you're moving in the right direction. You're going, like, it's kind of just confirmation for your path, basically. Next, you have this full moon in Pisces. It says forgive. So definitely forgiving a past situation would probably be a good idea. You have the Judgment card, the Two of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles. Judgment is about moving past a past situation. Death card twice. Tower, Judgment, all this would represent kind of letting something go. Normally on a traditional Judgment card, the people are rising up from coffins and the coffin represents their old life. Outside the coffin represents their new life. This is kind of giving me the vibes that it's like saying if you move past something that there will be a major improvement in your life, but it's like you have to kind of shut the door, So I really feel this is saying if you don't shut the door, then you're just going to be in the past. If you do shut the door, then you're opening up to the future. I kind of have a little bit of this like fear of loss type of energy here where it's like, but if I shut the door, then I can't go back. But I feel like you don't want to go back. And I also feel like you don't want to go back. Those are two different things. I know that sounded like the same thing, but it's like, I feel like your own feelings, you don't want to return to the past necessarily. And I feel like the other version of that is that if you did go back to the past, you would regret it. So I kind of get that feeling here. You could be, again, this is your outcome. So with the Tower and the Judgment card, that could be the revelation that you're having. You have the Two of Pentacles. I feel like you've been very focused on work. I really feel you need to put things in perspective here as well. For whatever reason, I get this feeling that that it's like you've done a bunch of work, and I feel like you need to see that. It's almost like you need to like look at all the work that you've done on yourself or on your business. And I feel like you need to see how far you've come because then I feel like you'll be like, wait, like I would never go back to the past. I would never revisit something from the past. And that's what I feel like you need to do here with the Two of Pentacles. You have the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is a card of independence. It's a card of success, and it's a card of being very successful. Nine of Pentacles like work hard, it's but needing to focus, right? Normally she is very focused on one thing, and so she's training her focus. So I feel like being focused is a good idea. I also feel like you could be very independent at this time. She normally has 6 Pentacles on one side, 3 Pentacles on the other, and she's willing to give 3 Pentacles to like any new situation. So I feel like a lot of you could be kind of like more paying attention to where you put your energy. With the Judgment card, you have the King of Swords. This could be Law and Order. You could be seeing someone right here kind of getting their karma, even with the Six of Pentacles. But I also feel you could be attracting, I feel like that could be the person that you're attracting. Could be a person who's older than you, someone who's very mature. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the Four of Wands. Yes, marriage. Again, all three water signs had the Four of Wands. Doesn't surprise me. As I've been saying, I think that we're entering into a good time for water signs, especially once we get to like the middle of the month and then forward, right? It's going to be a really good time for water signs to find love, to, if you want to get married, to find that person to get married to. Even if you just want a commitment, the Four of Wands doesn't have to be marriage. It could just be a commitment, and that could be coming. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Cups. Again, yes, following your heart is always the right answer. So I would follow your heart at this time here, Scorpio. It's going to lead to success. We're going to pull 5 main themes now, and we're going to see what is going on for you at this time. You have 2 cards for your first one. It says bird flying. It says news is on the way. Then you have this tortoise. It says slowly but surely getting ahead. So I feel like there could be news coming in. It could be very slow, or maybe it's taking time for you to get a message from a person if you're like meeting a new person. You have this kite card. It says vacation. Yeah, I feel like some of you need a break. So if you need a break or vacation, take a break. You have this chain card. It says chain of events that will affect your life. So there clearly is like a important chain of events coming in here. Next, you have one of these monthly cards, and it says July on it. And so you also have this grapes card with the July card that says time to go out and have fun. So I feel like between now and July, you could be like doing a lot of work on yourself or businesses or whatever it is that you're working on. And then once we get into like the later summer, that could be when you're kind of like opening back up to the world, if that makes sense. But, there are some things happening that you're working on that you have to work on behind the scenes. Tower. Again, you have the July card and this grapes card. So for some of you, it could be the month of July where something happens. I also get travel here, but it could be, again, if you are meeting a person from a distance, for example, you could be traveling in the month of July of this year, 2023, obviously. And, that could be when it's happening. And finally, you have the wheel. It says indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. Again, Tower. For some of you, I feel like this is saying, like, if something isn't working in your life and you know it's not working, then I would make a change with this energy and move on to something else. And I wouldn't just allow things to kind of stew, I would make some decisions. But this is a pretty good reading here, Scorpio. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your month.